In the headlines, Nigerians groan as cost of living continues to rise. Troops kill advancing terrorists from Cameroon. President Tinubu writes lawmakers, seeks confirmation of service chiefs. And on the foreign scene, at least 50 dead in Pakistan monsoon floods. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in detail. Following the nationwide upward review in the pump price of petrol to an average of 537 naira per litre by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, commercial drivers and passengers in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, have been lamenting the increase in the cost of transportation in the FCT. This has made intracity shuttle almost a luxury, as many can barely afford to move around except for very important reasons. Abdurrahman Umar has more.
Ilyasu Bisala is a commuter who told Trust TV that before the increase in fuel price, 1,000 naira could have been enough for him to move around the FCT.
Before 500 they're taking me today, but now at least I spend like 800 before we reach there, as this fuel issue come.
According to Yahuza Salihu, before now 300 naira would have taken him to and from his workplace, but with the removal of subsidy, he spends way more than that now.
From Jabia to my working place, before it was 300, but now almost 700 now. Go and come. Now I'm going to Zuba. Before it was 250, but now it's 700.
Passengers are not the only ones complaining about the increase in the cost of transportation within and around the FCT. Drivers too have their own stories to tell. Mustafa Abdullahi is a driver within the FCT. He says he feels for residents of Abuja, especially federal civil servants, who are struggling to meet the new fares. He adds that even with the increase in fuel price, they had reduced the cost of transportation to enable the workers cope.
We driver in Jabi, we look that our federal government, our people are suffering, working under federal government. They wouldn't increase their salary. Now they always keep up promise to them that they are going to increase their salary, and they didn't increase to them. That's why that we drivers, we gather ourselves and we look into it. We have to drop the price for them to 400 naira now.
We are not even happy what is happening now, because everything is high. Even though we want to buy even the oil now, when we used to buy 2,000 naira, they sell it almost 11,000, 12,000. How can we cope up? Again, they now put a fuel like this thing. How can we make it? How can we get our this thing? Even most of all that we are balancing now, the many motors are already parked because of the fuel this thing. What you are buying 195 before, we buy it times 3 of what you are getting now. So what is the benefit?
Joy Anyama says 500 naira was enough to take her and her goods home, but now she even begs to pay 800 naira, but the drivers won't budge.
As they take me today, they are telling me that it's 1,000 naira, while before I'm paying 500, 400. So I beg them to collect it 800. They refuse that they will not collect 800.
On the whole, both drivers and passengers in Abuja agree that they are both suffering the high cost of living, especially in terms of transportation, as around in and around the FCT is no longer business as usual.
In a similar vein, 5 weeks after the announcement by President Tinubu that subsidy on petrol has been removed, Nigerians have been trying to adjust their lifestyle to fit the current realities of the new regime. Trust TV correspondent Chamun Dabeng reports that Nigerians have had to make significant cuts in their daily spendings in order to meet up with the exponential price hikes brought about by the immediate hike in the cost of transportation. The report.
The subsidy removal policy has been often described as a funds guzzler and a platform for corrupt practices, making its subsequent removal imperative to aid the growth of the Nigerian economy. However, the changes brought on by the removal of the subsidy policy has multiplied the hardships that Nigerians have been facing over time. The country in the last year has seen several hikes in the consumer price index, which as of May 2023 sits at 22.41%, while food inflation is 24.82%. As the price of goods and services continue to increase, Nigerians are forced to make difficult adjustments to their lifestyle.
We are suffering. Nigeria is suffering. Like me now, I don't retire. I'm finding it very, very difficult to feed. Yes, I make an adjustment because anything when I'm buying now, I will share it. I will buy 1/5 of it, and with the higher price.
Yeah, my movement reduced. Now I'm doing from my house to my office to my children's school. Three movements from my house to my office to my children's school, which is crazy. You can't visit anyone. Even now I'm in the market, I came to buy. Prices of things are crazy.
Imagine somebody who is earning 35,000 naira. Is paying a transport of 1,000 naira, let's say every week. I was living in where I was paying, I think 70,000 naira. I've now moved to where I'm now paying 50,000 naira for a rent. So
several experts have predicted that the trend will continue upwards, with the Bank of America predicting that Nigeria's inflation rate may reach 30% in 2023. The World Bank also predicts that 7.1 million Nigerians may be pushed below the poverty line. While economist Aliyu Audu lauds Nigerians for being able to handle the subsidy removal, many, however, wonder what can be done to ease the struggles of the vast population.
Let's look at what the government has promised and is going to do. We know that the government is about less than 2 months old. So I'm not sure if they can do any magic immediately. Now, they have promised that they are going to increase the minimum wage in line with the subsidy removal. They have promised they are going to bring in palliatives in terms of buses, electric buses, mass transit buses, to help workers move from one point to another at a subsidized rate.
Nigerians and some experts are calling on the federal government to address the situation to avoid further consequences on the country. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Moving on to security, troops of the Nigerian military attached to Operation Hatinkai in the northeast have neutralized members of Boko Haram and Islamic State of West African Province terrorists while attempting to cross the Nigerian territory from the Cameroon border. The terrorists, numbering 5, according to the military high command, were gunned down during a gun duel following an intelligence report that the insurgents laid ambush along Bulayobe, Dar el Jamel in Bama local government area of Borno State. The newly appointed Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General E.S. Buba, who disclosed this at Defense Headquarters Abuja during a press briefing, said no fewer than 10 other members of the terrorists were also captured alive. Buba, represented at the briefing by his deputy, Brigadier General Abdullahi Ibrahim, told journalists that arms, weapons and other logistics, including bags of flour and detergent, were recovered from the enemies of the state, adding that their collaborators were also arrested. He also revealed that no fewer than 967 terrorists, 82 adult males, 354 adult females, and 531 children surrendered to troops at different locations within the joint area of operations. Kano State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of 106 suspects in connection with armed robbery and other related crimes. Addressing a news conference, the State Police Commissioner, Muhammad Gumel, said several weapons and other exhibits were recovered during the operations. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that the command is asking 16 notorious criminal kingpins to report to the nearest police division in their own interest.
These are mostly thugs, otherwise known as Endaba, suspected armed robbers and kidnappers who were arrested in various locations across Kano State.
Some of the thugs, led by this particular person, decided to start stoning security officials, damage their vehicles, but he was arrested and he has confessed to what he has done to security officials during the Salah celebration.
According to the command, a total of 108 of them are currently under discreet investigation after several dangerous weapons were recovered from them.
24 armed robbery suspects have been arrested. 3 suspected kidnappers also arrested. 2 suspected drug dealers. 9 suspected thieves. 2 motor vehicle thieves. 3 tricycle thieves. 3 motorcycle thieves. 57 suspected thugs, otherwise called Endaba, and 5 suspected fraudsters.
Thuggery, otherwise known as Daba, has recently become a source for concern among most people in Kano. The command is therefore inviting some 16 leaders of thuggery syndicate to report themselves to a nearby police station, otherwise they will be declared wanted.
The following identified suspects or thugs, otherwise called Endaba kingpins, are by this pressman invited to report at the nearest police station, Burakita of Dorari Karama Quarters. 2. Mercy of Kantudu. 3. Dambos of Dala Makaranta. 4. Adoruntu of Tudung Pulani, Bachirawa Quarters. 5. Bapakila of Mazaunar Tankwa Quarters. 6. Kamilu Duna, otherwise called Black, of Adakawa Quarters. 7. Chile, Maidoki Tudun Pulani, Bachirawa Quarters.
While investigation continues into the alleged crimes committed by these people, police in Kano warned that there will be no longer a hiding place for criminals wherever they might be across Kano State. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Still in Kano State, Justice DJ Aboki made history on Thursday in the state when the State House of Assembly confirmed her appointment as the first female Chief Judge of the state. The confirmation of Aboki's appointment came after a letter from Governor Abba Yusuf was presented to the Assembly on Thursday. The appointment letter was read during plenary by the Speaker of the House, Ismail Falgore. Aboki's journey to the position of Chief Judge began in March when she was appointed as the acting Chief Judge by the former Governor of the state, Abdullahi Ganduje. The Speaker of the House commended Aboki's appointment and urged her to continue her dedicated service to the judiciary. The confirmation of Aboki's appointment followed a screening exercise presided over by Speaker Falgore, in which 3 commissioner nominees, namely Ibrahim Fage, Ibrahim Namadi, and Amina Abdullahi Sani, were also approved. The Speaker emphasized the importance of these nominees complementing the efforts of the government in advancing the development agenda of Kano State. President Bola Tinubu has formally requested the House of Representatives to confirm the newly appointed service chiefs. The Speaker of the House, Abbas Tajuddin, read the President's letter of request during the opening of the House plenary on Thursday. The letter of the President seeking the confirmation of the service chiefs comes 2 weeks after their appointment on June 19. Tinubu removed the former service chiefs and appointed new ones whom he directed to resume with immediate effect 3 weeks after his inauguration. The service chiefs waiting for approval from the legislative arm are Nuhu Ribadu as the new National Security Advisor, Major General Chris Musa as the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Taoreed Lagbaja as the Chief of Army Staff, Rear Admiral Emmanuel Ogala as the Chief of Naval Staff, AVM Hassan Abubakar as the Chief of Air Staff, IGP Kayode Egbetokun as the Acting Inspector General of Police, and Major General Ekpa Undiandeye as the Chief of Defense Intelligence. Tinubu also appointed Adeni Adewale as the acting Comptroller General of Customs. Former Ekiti State Governor Ayo Fayose on Thursday met with President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja. Fayose, who addressed State House reporters at the end of the meeting, said he is with President Tinubu's administration but will not hesitate to criticize the government if it fails to fulfill its campaign promises to Nigeria. Fayose lauded the steps taken so far by the Tinubu administration.
May I say to you, sir, ladies and gentlemen of the press, let me tell you, if Asiwaju turns back on his promise, all he said when he was campaigning, I will be the first to talk. I am not timid, and I don't shy away from facing challenges. But the man I have seen today, I don't eulogize and I don't praise to curry favor. I am no more a small boy. Let me tell you, the man I saw today, and for the actions we have seen, means well for Nigeria. But if there's any reason to derail, it will not be deliberate. And we will all be able to draw his attention to his brief as the President and Commander-in-Chief of our country. Let us be optimistic, let us be hopeful, and let us believe that there will be a turnaround.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break, we take a look at what it takes to stop open defecation. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us on Trust News Update. A recap of our major stories. We told you that Nigerians groan as cost of living continues to rise. You also heard that troops kill advancing terrorists from Cameroon. Moving to other stories, the 8,000 documents tendered by the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Ogun State, Oladipupo Adebutu, has been admitted by the State Election Petitions Tribunal. However, the legal team of Governor Dakwa Abiodun, All Progressives Congress, and Independent National Electoral Commission appealed to the tribunal to give them 2 days to inspect the documents before its admission. The tribunal therefore gave both the petitioners and the respondents Tuesday and Wednesday to scrutinize all documents and represent them on Thursday. At Thursday's sitting, counsel to petitioners Godi Uche informed the tribunal that the respondents had inspected the documents as ordered. Counsel to INEC, Remi Olatubora, confirmed that the documents were released by the commission to the defendants. Counsel to Dakwa Abiodun, Titilola Akinlawon, said the documents had been inspected, but the second respondent, Governor Abiodun, would reserve his objection to the admissibility of the documents till the final addresses. Corroborating the counsel to APC, Onyechi Ikpeazu, also said the party's objections to some of the documents are reserved till the final addresses. In his ruling, the chairman of the tribunal, Hamidu Kunaza, admitted all the exhibits from the bar. Governor Babagana Zulum has approved the appointment of Associate Professor Bello Ibrahim as Executive Chairman of Borno State Internal Revenue Service. Spokesman of the governor, Isa Gusau, announced the appointment in a statement on Thursday. Until his appointment, Bello was Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Borno Renaissance Microfinance Bank, a position he held from December 2019. A statement said the 55-year-old associate professor, Bello, who hails from Maiduguri, holds a PhD, MSc, and bachelor's degree, all in economics, from the University of Maiduguri. Gusau recalled that Associate Professor Bello began his working career at the Borno State Hospital's Management Board. He moved to Kashim Ibrahim College of Education, Maiduguri, as an academic staff from 1993 to the year 2000. Bello later moved to Northeast University in Kano, also as an academic staff, and was there from 2015 to 2019. In December 2019, Bello joined Borno State University as an academic staff. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has signed an executive order restructuring the state government ministries from 28 to 16. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Media and Publicity, Suleiman Idris, said the move is part of measures to cut wastage in government and eliminate duplication of functions. It said the governor signed the order on Thursday at the council chambers of the Government House in Gusau. Meanwhile, the state government has fully paid the inherited backlog of workers' salaries, including that of June 2023. Moving on, the United Nations Children's Fund says Nigeria will need to build no fewer than 3.9 million toilets annually to meet the open defecation-free target by 2025. According to the 2021 Water, Sanitation and Hygiene National Outcome Routine Mapping on Nigeria's sanitation status, 48 million people practiced open defecation, while 95 million were without access to basic sanitation services. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
This is one of the hotspots of open defecation around Tashanduku axis in Gombe metropolis. People who defecate here form part of the 48 million Nigerians who practice open defecation. Business owners who operate around this area launch a campaign against open defecation to sanitize the environment.
Musamman ma kamar yanzu wannan kwari din. Kaga in ka zo ka shiga wannan kwari kai fitsari, kaga ruwa zai tafi.
Waste from the open defecation contaminates water and cause diseases. We used to sanitize the area with my members. Building toilets will address the problem. There were efforts to do so, but maintenance became a problem. Open defecation destroys the environment and causes diseases. I feel sad about it. people should use the toilet as recommended by our religion. Apart from damaging the environment, health experts say open defecation poses a great danger to humans' health.
Avoid open defecation because the microorganisms come out in feces into the surface, and that will contaminate surface waters and also waters that are used in watering the vegetables in our gardens and what have you. So open defecation should also be avoided.
As it stands, Nigeria builds 200,000 toilets annually, but 95 million Nigerians lack access to basic sanitation services, forcing a large percentage of the population to practice open defecation. To address the problem, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says Nigeria must build 3.9 million toilets annually to meet the open defecation-free target by 2025. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Now away from Nigeria, officials say on Friday that at least 50 people, including 8 children, have been killed by floods and landslides triggered by monsoon rains that have lashed Pakistan since last month. The summer monsoon brings South Asia 70 to 80% of its annual rainfall between June and September every year. It is vital for the livelihoods of millions of farmers and food security in a region of around 2 billion people, but it also brings landslides and floods. A national disaster management official said 50 deaths have been reported in different rain-related incidents all over Pakistan since the start of the monsoon on June 25th, adding that 87 people were injured during this period. Official data showed the majority of the deaths were in eastern Punjab province and were mainly due to electrocution and building collapses. In northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, the bodies of 8 children were recovered from a landslide in the Shangla district on Thursday, according to the Emergency Service Rescue 1122 spokesman Bilal Ahmed Faizi. He said rescuers were still searching for other children trapped in the debris. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.